It was the hum of the engines that finally woke me. That steady drone vibrating through my seat and pulling me out of a restless sleep. I drifted off as soon as we hit cruising altitude. I'd been knackered, and besides, I hate flying. If I could, I'd avoid it altogether, but Anna, my wife, had convinced me that we deserved a proper holiday. I opened my eyes, squinting against the dim cabin lights, and glanced to my left, expecting to see her sleeping beside me. But the seat was empty. For a second, I didn't think much of it. She'd probably just gone to the loo. I rubbed my eyes, stretched, and leaned back in my seat, waiting for her to return. I wasn't one to worry over small things. I figured she'd be back in a minute or two. Maybe I had a chat with the stewardess or something, but then a few minutes passed. Then another. I glanced up the aisle and watched as a few other passengers entered and exited the toilets. No sign of her. I craned my neck, scanning the rows of seats, hoping to spot her head bobbing up or her arm waving. Nothing. I felt my pulse pick up just a little as I pushed up from my seat. I made my way to the front of the plane, checking each row as I passed, half expecting her to pop up, to smile and ask what I was on about. But row after row, she wasn't there. I turned, heart thumping in my chest, and walked back down the aisle toward the rear toilets, giving each face a quick once-over. Still nothing. A small knot of worry twisted in my stomach as I approached one of the flight attendants. "Excuse me, I can't seem to find my wife. I've checked the toilets, gone up and down the aisles. She was just here, but now she's gone." The attendant's face tightened with concern. "All right, sir, let me check with my colleagues. What's your wife's name?" Anna Drummond. "We're in seats 16A and 16B, I said, the worry creeping into my voice. The attendant gave me a sympathetic smile. "I'll look into it, sir. Please take a seat, and we'll do our best to locate her." I returned to my seat, fighting the wave-sick building inside me. The minutes ticked by, painfully slow. Every so often I'd see a flash of movement near the galley, hear the low murmur of voices between the attendants. I tried to catch their eye, to read their faces, but they stayed professional, saying nothing. After what felt like an eternity, a different attendant approached me. "Mr. Drummond?" Her voice was soft, cautious. "I've spoken with the crew, and I'm sorry, but we can't seem to locate a passenger by that name on board." "What do you mean?" I said, my voice trembling as I gripped the edge of my seat. "She's here. She's been with me the whole time. We boarded together. You saw us when we came on." The attendant's face faltered slightly. "Sir, we've double-checked the passenger manifest, and no one by the name Anna Drummond checked in or boarded this flight." "No," I said, my voice rising despite myself. "She was right here. We got seats together, 16A and 16B. She was right here next to me." Several passengers turned to look at me, their faces wary, curious. The attendant put a hand on my shoulder, urging me to lower my voice. "Sir, I understand this is upsetting, but please try to remain calm. Sometimes the stress of travel can cause confusion. Let's take a deep breath, and I'll walk you through our records again, if that would help." "No, this isn't confusion!" I shot up from my seat, ignoring the attendant's attempts to soothe me, and began frantically searching each aisle, each row. Anna, where are you?" The words tumbled out of my mouth in a blind panic, but no one answered. The flight attendants moved in, gently trying to guide me back to my seat, but I couldn't stop. I could feel my heart pounding against my ribcage, each thud louder, sharper. "She's my wife! I saw her. She was right here. I can't lose her again." Again, that word hung in the air, as though it didn't belong to me. I froze, the weight of it settling in my chest, dark and suffocating. And then memories slipped through the fog of my panic, flickering like a broken reel of film, images of her lying pale and silent in a hospital bed, her hand cold in mine, the hum of machines, the sterile scent of antiseptics, the sound of the doctor's quiet final words. She'd been gone, dead for 6 months. But I could have sworn I'd seen her, heard her voice, her laughter, felt her beside me, so real that I couldn't accept anything else. I slumped into my seat, the horror of it all rushing over me. The attendants were still speaking to me, gently, but their voices sounded far away. In my mind, I saw her, as real as anything I'd ever known. The way she'd smiled at me just before we'd boarded, the warmth of her hand in mine as we found our seats, the way she'd laughed when I grumbled about the flight, but all of it, every memory, was nothing but an echo. She'd been gone, and I'd been dragging her ghost with me through every room, every empty night, every passing day. I closed my eyes, numb with the weight of it all, as the attendants quietly moved away. The plane was silent, the passengers watching me with wary, pitying eyes, but it didn't matter anymore. She was gone, had been gone, and somehow I'd lost her all over again. I settled back into my seat, staring blankly at the empty seat beside me, haunted by the last image I'd ever have of her, a memory that I could never quite hold on to, slipping away like smoke.